the dedication it takes by our staff, by our players and everybody involved. And so we're very grateful for the venue and the energy and what Bronco Nation brings. So appreciate you guys. You guys can start firing away.
Coach, when you look at Talon, where has he grown as a quarterback over the last month the most?
Well, we can sit down and talk a whole lot about that because we can all see that he's grown a tremendous amount. Number one, his confidence in his command and how he leads the huddle, how he communicates, how he approaches it. Tonight, he was in his zone tonight. You know, our preparation and getting him ready to get him to that place every single week, that's the goal. And not only for him, but for everybody else. Not only is his confidence in his command within the huddle and his operation in the pre-snap, we're starting to see that stuff get cleaned up, but his rhythm within the wide receivers, his ability to extend the pocket, or extend and get out of the pocket when the pocket breaks down, that's a huge factor. Having him back there, it creates more explosive plays. The wide receivers do a great job within the scramble drill, but then the timing of the drop back progressions. I mean, we saw him hit some throws, off his last step in his drop and keep things on time and put the ball where it needed to be. So we spread it around tonight. I didn't look to see who all. Yeah, there's almost 4 guys that had 5 catches tonight. So that's exciting to see too.
He had such a good game throwing the ball. Was this kind of a statement game for Talon in a way?
You know what? Again, it's in this game. It's always about what are they giving you. You can't pound your head into a wall. So whatever the defense is going to give, our coaches did a good job. Coach Cutter did a good job taking what the defense gave, and obviously preparing Talon and the offense to have an understanding of anticipating what is the defense going to work to try to take away, what are the certain things that they're going to do, and then putting the guys in position to be able to do that.
The wide receivers, whether it be Steph, Billy, McAllister, Davis, they all posted season highs in receiving yards today. How much is that group deserving of this? How patient have they had to been and diligent just to get to this point?
Yeah, I mean, it's just really exciting to see those guys. And this week was by far their best week of being patient, being committed, bringing that attitude of we're going to get this done, we're going to keep growing, we're going to keep pushing forward to be better. And I'm proud of them. I mean, I know all our coaches are proud of them to be able to do what they did out there tonight. And obviously, we were just talking about it with a few of them in the locker room. Where do we go from here? How do we keep growing? How do we keep bringing that positive energy, that vibe that nothing's going to hold us back? We're going to keep working. Nothing's ever going to be perfect, but anything great takes a whole lot of work and commitment.
What did you do Divine tonight?
He did a good job. He did a really good job. Whether he was lined up over the guard or he was lined up over the center, there were some matchups there that once we saw early on in that game that we wanted to make sure that we kept them in those situations. Again, this is a game of personnel matchups and being diligent enough within to find the matchups that are going to be that our guys are going to be able to win consistently and then put them in position. I thought our coaches did a really good job. Getting the guys ready that stepped up and played this week. It wasn't until late Monday afternoon that we had realized that George's, what we thought was, we didn't know it was as severe as it was with George Tarlis in his hip. And come to find out late Monday afternoon that he did experience a pretty serious hip injury that had to get fixed immediately. So that he can continue to prepare and get himself ready. And so we're very grateful for George. It was something that I'm very proud of our medical team too. I'm very grateful for our medical team putting in a plan into action immediately to be able to get George squared away, to get him fixed. And obviously now we will be there for him with his rehab and getting him back to getting him ready to go for pro day next year.
The D-line as a whole, I mean, you had a lot of guys out tonight, and to have 5 sacks and hold them to 3 rushing yards. I mean, you mentioned guys stepping up, but I mean, what did you think of the D-line as a whole?
It was a lot of work this week. It was a lot of work, and these guys are an awesome group to be around. a lot of those guys that stepped in tonight stepped in and played a lot more snaps than they normally get to play. And that's part of football. Obviously, there's only 11 guys that get to go on the field at one time. And the way they prepared, the way they trained, we'll go watch the film, and we already know it. We've already seen some of the things that we can be better at. But I was really excited to see Cortez. Cortez came off the shelf in the bye week, the Air Force week. Not really, he got a lot of reps in practice and in training, but not really a great position to put a guy in that hadn't played thus far this season, because we love him and want to see him get off to a great start like he did tonight. And it just so happened to work out that, you know, with the unfortunate situation with George, that it was Cortez's night to be able to step up. And he did. He did a good job in his first college game. There's a lot that he's going to need to learn. There's going to be a lot that he needs to continue to work on going forward, so that we could have continued success in our defensive front. It was awesome to see, you know, Gabe Hunter jump in there, who has not got a ton of playing time, but has been very diligent throughout the course of this season and last season, and has been a huge guy on special teams. Dimitri is huge as always. I mean, Dimitri was ready to play both sides of the field tonight, given that we were limited because we had to move Ahmed inside with Scotty not playing and Jackson not playing. Just really proud of the coaches and how they got these guys ready. And it wasn't, I think if you watched the game, it was not a simplified package. We did not taper off on what we needed to do, because there were guys, new guys that were going to be in there. And that's a really incredible that the coaches were able to get that stuff done.
You mentioned how comfortable Taylor looked. Is that something that just kind of took 4 weeks to click, and for his timing and everything to really come to fruition?
Well, again, I mean, there's plenty that he's going to be able to learn from. Every week there's we come out of each week with something to be better at, okay? This past week it was his decision making. The week before it was his command in the huddle, his communication, and how we're going to lead and how we're going to take charge, how we're going to put confidence into our offense when we're on the field, when we're on the sideline at practice and the game. This week it was about his decision making and being precise, and taking that same command that he's taken in the huddle with his communication, and making sure that we are taking that, using that same mentality in our decision making. And that starts with our preparation. If we have the same mentality in practice and we use those reps and our timing's right in practice, then we're going to be able to do the same thing in the game.
What was your vantage point on that 10-yard touchdown where he juked a couple dudes and then ran into the end zone?
I couldn't see much of it, but boy, watching it on the replay board, that was special. That was special. Again, us getting Taylor prepared each and every week. Yeah, he was in the zone tonight. You can see it in his eyes. Now, that's not just going to happen next week. That's going to take a lot of preparation to get him, you know, ready the next week with the new objectives that the new team's going to present to us.
I know we've asked you last couple of weeks about red zone. I don't know if I've ever covered a game where you guys went 7 for 7 with 7 touchdowns. Whether it be that or you guys start, you know, from start to finish, a 4-quarter effort. I mean, best performance of the year all around in your eyes, or?
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. And we've, I will say this too. It's the guys are committed to doing things better at practice. From the standpoint of the consistency from when the time we get on the field to the time we get off the field, and even the periods when it's more lower tempo, being able to keep their focus, keep their energy right, and that's what's required to play your best 4 quarters. There's going to be this in a game. You're going to go sit on the bench while the other side of the ball is on the field. We got to know how to handle our mental, keep our focus, and be able to communicate and handle the in-game adjustments. I believe and I know that our players are doing a better job, our coaches are doing a better job, and we need to continue to do that at practice. Each and every day at practice, it's an opportunity where we're only out there for, you know, a certain amount of time. We can't wait to fix things till we get back into the meeting room. Just like we can't wait to fix things within a game. We've got to be able to see it as coaches, we've got to be able to communicate, and we've got to be able to adjust in-game time. And that had a big deal to do with us being consistent. The coaches adjusted, and so did the players. And it was fun to see all 3 phases operate and come together.
Okay, good.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.